at 12:35. And we're here for the Board of Equalization Valuation Appeal hearing for parcel ending in 0200A, belonging to the Bruner family. So this will be a little repetitious, but I got to run through the ceremonial part here. This will be an official hearing. Will be recorded on TV and posted on our website. We will be swearing in yourselves and the assessors, anybody that wants to give testimony. So if you both want to talk, we'll swear you both in. Then we'll give you approximately 10 minutes to share your thoughts on the property, give the assessor a chance to ask questions, give the assessor 10 minutes, give you a chance to ask questions, and then you'll have closing remarks that you can make or rebuttal or summarize your thoughts after we've had the first round. Okay, and we'll give them the same thing, and then we'll close that part of the hearing, and the commission will make a decision. So that being said, if those of you who are going to give testimony would raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right. So we're all sworn in and ready. I will turn it over to you. We have the packet that you gave us. Feel free to share with us within 10 minutes whatever thoughts you have about this.
Okay, I don't think I need 10 minutes. I purchased the house last year, and it is because I financed it. We had an appraisal done by an appraiser that specializes in rural communities. He came up with the best comps that he could come up with. They weren't on the creek, but they were as comparable as he could find. His assessed value was $730,000 for the property. And since we're basing it on the value of the property in 2002, I would submit that would be the value that I would expect to see it assessed at.
This appraisal was in 2022.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Okay.
As a fee appraisal.
Yes.
I use the word right this time, Mr. Sid. Okay, I'm gaining.
You guys have a copy of that?
No.
Okay.
I made 5 copies or 6 copies.
Could be in the file.
Okay.
Let them know.
Good catch, Tracy. Okay, that's some good reading. I want to read that tonight. Okay, I found the totals page. That's what I was after. Okay, so you've got a fee appraisal for 2022, which shows the value at $732,943.
What date did you buy the house?
April
April?
22, it looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah. April
Okay.
22.
I believe it was
The end of it.
April 28th or 29th. I'm not certain as to the exact date.
Okay. Anything else you want to say for the initial? Are you?
I'll say the acre, the living acre.
So we went in and had a discussion at the front desk over there about the acreage running up the side of the hill, because there's nothing you could build on. And the young lady behind the desk was willing to downgrade that from a fair acreage to poor acreage, because there's not a lot we can do with it except grow trees on it. What she's alluding to is the homemaker had changed from assessed value of 64,000 to 162,000. And I understand that there's market drivers involved, but the appraisal that we had done doesn't support driving it that hard. The bank was looking for the best valuation they could get on the place, because the seller was actually asking for significantly more than that. And that was the best he could come up with.
And that would be the most that the bank would lean on, which would be the 700 and some thousand, right?
Right.
That's what. Okay.
Okay. Does the assessor have any questions for the appellant?
Not at this time.
Not this time. Okay. All right, let's give the assessor a chance to present her stuff, and then you can ask questions of them.
That's
With our pass around the copies. Two there. What are these?
Okay, so I'll just run through the exhibits. Exhibit A, a letter from the State Tax Commission saying that we were out of compliance on vacant residential and improved residential. Exhibit B is the sales for Pine Creek. C is a map of the sales. And D is a ratio with all of the sales for the gulches and like areas in Pine Creek. Subject property has 32.847 acres, 1,904 finished square feet, built in 2000. And it has a 41 by 41 full building and a 12 by 16 shed. That is what I have.
So I have some questions.
Sir,
Do you have this without the redactions?
I'm sorry?
The redactions,
Reductions.
like the
Do you have
contract
it?
price has been scratched out.
Yeah, that's correct. I did not want to disclose what I paid for the flood.
So, and then also, I would. Couple things on this. All of the sales were 21 that he used. 8 of 21, 4 of 21, 6 of 21.
Mm-hmm.
Those sales were approximately a year before this in an appreciating market. And we've seen the appreciating market through 23. This one's dated for 22, or 22 of 22. So if we round that off, let's just say 1st of May. We were still looking at 7 months in appreciating market, 1 to 1.5%. So if we took this appraisal, time adjusted it January 1st of this year, it would be somewhat higher. So
May I respond?
Go ahead. We're a little out of sync here, but go ahead and finish this conversation.
So the appraiser would have time adjusted those previous appraisals as part of its current appraisal to meet the bank's requirements.
um,
Okay,
The bank's not going to accept an appraisal that's not time adjusted based on ones from 2022. They want current valuation. So he would have made that adjustment as part of that appraisal.
and it's your chance to ask them some questions if you have any more from what they said.
but and remember, I'm reading his appraisal.
I understand.
So can you show me where he made the adjustments to those sales?
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay. So let's assume that we did. And you still contend you don't wanna let us know what you paid for it last year.
That'd be my preference, yes.
That raises a huge red flag to me.
Okay, any other questions for the assessor?
I have a question. Can you clarify what you consider improvement?
Yeah, he did that.
Well, I like to hear it
Did
again.
you-
Hmm.
Would you make her that? Improvements, please, Katie.
So the dwelling, the 25 by 25 pole building, a 25 by 12 shed, a stable.
Stable? There's no stable.
I'm sorry, you're talking about my
I'm sorry, I'm
property?
looking at the wrong one. Let me,
I was gonna say, cool, we got a stable.
okay. Oh. The dwelling, the 41 by 41 pole building, a 12 by 16 shed, and a 228 square foot wood deck.
Shed. Lincoln.
He's talking about the woodshed. So that's what when you asked what were the
What the
improvements
improvements,
to the
right, I
property?
got it.
Okay. Any further questions there? Otherwise, I'm gonna go to closing remarks. All right, we'll give you a closing remarks, and we'll give the assessor closing remarks. What are anything else you'd want to add to this, or summary statements that you would like to make?
Well, no, I think I've stated my case. Is if you've got any questions, I'd like to clarify at this point.
Well, we will have another round of questions here in a minute. Okay. Does anything further from the assessor?
If I take this appraisal and time adjusted January 1st of this year, that puts us really close to the 840,000.
That's if we assume that it wasn't already time
No,
adjusted.
no, this the value he gave 730,000 is 422 of 22.
I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
And that's assuming that he adjusted the comparables to
And when you time adjust, what figure are you using?
1.5%.
A month? Okay. Any further comments from the assessor's office? All right. All right. Questions from the board before we close and deliberate? Any questions for either party?
Do you have a timber exemption?
No, I made a mistake. I'll have one next year. Or have a forester coming out tomorrow.
Okay.
You said you spoke with the front desk today or recently, but did this reflect the adjustment that
Yeah,
you discussed?
that
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's 841, I think. That they adjusted to, and yes, that does reflect it.
841, I didn't.
It should be in the 2023.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Or
because your
assessment.
assessment paper here, so it's at 8 instead of 875. After they adjusted that.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
So the assessment's 840 instead of, okay. Instead of 1 million.
Yeah, that was the initial assessment.
Okay.
Which,
Or they made a adjustment?
right,
Okay. Any other questions, Commissioner?
No.
All right. Okay, then we'll close that portion of the hearing, and now we're just going to deliberate, so we won't take any more evidence. We'll just deliberate, see if we can come to a decision. What are your thoughts?
It's just how that works with having an appraisal already. That was kind of, I don't understand how that works, because when we had the fellow in here before that he put his land up for sale 2 years ago. And so we dropped it back down to 340. So, and that's because nobody, because somebody wanted to purchase it. So how does that figure into this?
I believe that was the one you had listed for.
Yeah,
2 years
listed,
and
yeah.
nobody had bought.
Yeah,
And we were higher than its listing,
yeah.
and I don't think, and he didn't have any offers on it,
Mhm.
so we matched his listing.
Okay.
That's from St. Mary's Concrete.
Yeah.
So we should have been higher than his listing,
Yeah, you were, yeah.
and we were.
Yeah.
And so we made a recommendation, and we changed it, at least
Okay.
that's what his listing was. That was on the open market.
Yeah,
Advertised throughout the world. It was.
okay,
It would have been an arm's length market sale had it sold.
okay,
So there's no reason why there should have been higher than that asking price.
okay.
So,
I was just wondering how that plays that they've already bought it in 2022, but then you figure out a monthly interest or monthly increase in value, right?
right, to bring it to January 1st.
Okay,
And gentlemen for St. Mary's Concrete had that on the market January 1st.
yeah,
So
Okay, other comments or thoughts from the board? I'm a little confused because we've been on the record hearing that a fee appraisal was good as gold, but I think I'm hearing the assessor saying, but we'd have to time adjust.
Time that the appraisal was done, is that what, up to the current
mhm.
January?
And where does the 1.5% number come from?
what we look at, and I don't have those with me, is we got the sales on the calendar that are double sales. So say one sold January 1st, then it sold again in June, but no improvements or anything to it. We have several of those. So that shows you what it's doing per month. I would guess today, if we had one in January, and if it sold today, just a gut feeling, I would guess that would be a subtraction. I think the market is softening, but ask me this time next year and I can tell you for sure.
And with the timber exemption, this would be quite a bit less, right?
Let's see their assessment notice.
Oh, that's notice.
This is 38.87 acres. Looking at the, oh, this picture. Oh, considerably less. So this acreage here,
Mhm.
this is the value without the exemption. Actually, this reflects the timber exemption.
Oh, wow.
So definitely a timber exemption would be useful
Yeah.
next year.
I made an error.
Yeah, that's understand. All right, commission, we do need to make a decision. I'm inclined to lean more towards the fee appraisal. I've also heard what the assessor said, so I understand that I have some contradiction there, but what are your thoughts? What do you want to do?
I agree I like the fee appraisal as well, that they brought that in. However, they didn't disclose what they paid for, but that's beside the point. You're gonna be considerably less next year with the timber reduction. I don't have a problem if we lower it a bit to match with the appraisal or in between.
And what are you thinking? Property is currently sitting at 840 as adjusted. Appraisal at 730.
I think I can go with that.
What would you like? We don't have a motion. What would you like to go with? Or what would
The appraisal.
go with the appraisal?
Yep.
Okay, for this year.
Yeah, I was hoping a little bit in between, but they're gonna see an increase on it next year.
Yeah, well, we'll see if prices go down. But all right, do you care to make a motion or you want?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll motion that we accept the fee appraisal for this year. The amount of the fee appraisal. Which is 732,943.
Okay.
Okay,
Second it.
we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Anything else you would like to say or add? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries for this year to drop it to the appraised amount, 732. Okay, with that, this meeting is adjourned.